There he is.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm Sarah with Thriving Females.
Hello, and I'm Tara.
And I'd like to introduce our second, we're calling you, Deanna, an international guest because you are not on U.S. territory. But Deanna, say hi to everybody that's watching today.
Hello, everyone.
She is sitting in her yard in Costa Rica. I need to tell everybody, I know Deanna, she actually was a wonderful substitute for me in yoga when I owned my gym. And that's how I got to know her, and her husband also attended some of the classes there. But when Deanna read that I was doing my Thriving Females and what it was all about, she actually immediately contacted me and said she would love to be on here. And she gave me so many things that she wanted to share with followers, which I was like super excited about. She has lots to talk about, but I want to jump right into she used to live in St. Augustine, Florida, and they packed up everything and they moved their family to Costa Rica. So tell us about how all that adventure started, Deanna.
Lots of little stories, but basically the market, my husband follows the market, you know, what's going on, the economy always. So we had a house in Crescent Beach. He started a business right before COVID hit, outdoor hardscape landscape. It's called St. Augustine Paver Company. It boomed during COVID. I had my baby 3 weeks after COVID. He needed me to work with him. So I was full-time with 2 kids at home, working with him. Business was amazing. And then he redid our whole backyard. We were on a half acre and it was just green, and he made it, you know, what people were looking for during COVID, you know, the outdoor play area, pool and everything. So he said, this is an opportunity we're never going to have in a lifetime to sell our house for much more than what we bought it for. So we had that. Work was stressful. It wasn't fun anymore. His passion has always been outdoors, remodeling, landscape. So it's like, this isn't fun, you know? So he had an opportunity to sell, and I agreed we should, and everything just worked out to selling the business. So has anybody heard of Foose Island off the coast of Hilton Head?
No.
Heard of Hilton Head?
Yes.
Okay. So 6 years ago, we went there when I was pregnant with my first for a little baby moon. And my husband said, let's go check out this island off the coast of Hilton Head called Foose Island. And he said, this is it. This is where we're going to move. So we bought a little piece of property there. We went there on vacation 2 or 3 times a year. May of 2021, we booked an Airbnb to stay there for 3 weeks. And I booked a rental for a year in August 21 that we were going to try living there. We were there for 10 days and we said, nope, this is not the place. It has like 4 restaurants, you know, it's fun on vacation, but for living, the school was great, public school there. Then they ferry the kids over. There was like 28 kids in the school. Very rustic like this, you know, all golf cart community. It's awesome to visit if you ever get a chance. It's awesome. But we don't like the cold. We're like, it's South Carolina. It's going to get cold. What are we going to do in the wintertime, you know? So we said, all right, we got back to St. Augustine. And I said, well, what about Costa Rica? I got certified in yoga here 11 years ago. He's been here on surf trips in his 20s. It's like, all right, let's go on vacation. So we went on vacation the whole month of July of 2021 in Langosta, which is right next to Tamarindo. And we didn't want to narrow ourselves down to one area. So we did Playa del Coco, which is about an hour north of here, all the way down to Nosara, which is about 2 hours south of here. Checked out the vibe, the community, the schools, and we fell in love with this area. So and we house sold our house August of 21.
So was it hard as coming to a different country and like doing the purchase of a house and looking for schools? I mean, is it very Americanized or, because I hear a lot about Costa Rica now.
Yeah. So there is in our area, Tamarindo and Guanacaste is region, I guess you can say county, Guanacaste. there is a lot of schools. So a lot of expats are here from all over the world. You want to put your kids, I would say, in private school. Public school is obviously all Spanish. And sometimes I hear they have school and sometimes they don't. So everybody's in a private school, probably a quarter of the cost of private schools in America.
Wow.
There's one Korea, which is a larger school that is definitely more American based, I heard. We bring our daughter to Tide Academy, which is run by a woman named Chelsea from America. She's had it for over 10 years. 70 kids in the whole school, kindergarten through high school.
Wow.
Very small. There's 8 kids in every class. And their motto is known for the untraditional family. So a lot of kids go to school there and then they go back to America for half the year or another country. But yeah, there's a lot of school options. So that was big for us. A lot of daycare options, which I didn't even know about until I got here. Some really good preschools. Buying a house, I have to give all the credit to my husband. I found the house on, it's called Point 2 Homes, the number 2. They don't have a Zillow. They don't have a Zillow here. Yeah, there it is. They don't have a Zillow here. They don't have an MLS. They have realtors here. There's Caldwell Banker in Tamarindo. We randomly found our realtor. He's a home builder here. Anybody can be a realtor here. A couple things about, laws and stuff. Someone says, hey, I know a house for sale. They can kind of get your commission. There's no really technically rules or regulations on real estate here. So it's kind of a free for all. So we found the home and he did, it's a lot. You have to, what the big thing people think about when they move to like a different country or third world country, expats can't get a mortgage here. So most expats rent and you can be here for 90 days and then you have to leave the country to renew your visa. So a lot of people do border runs to Nicaragua and then they come back or they fly back to the US and come back. But to purchase a home is cash only. And we had a blessing and opportunity to sell our house for much more in America while we were able to buy our house here.
So when you bring up the visa, are you able to stay there then?
We applied for residency.
Okay.
And once you have that form that you applied for residency and it's through immigration, you do not have to leave the country. So
is it a long wait?
Yeah, you never know. We got a lawyer for it. You can do it on your own. I can see if I was a single person, I could probably do all the paperwork maybe on my own, but for family and we just had a lawyer, do everything. We had to get fingerprints. We had to get all our birth certificates, marriage license, everything apostilled in your original state in the United States. So that took a little bit of time. And then immigration has it now. So with COVID, I know things are backed up. So it could be 6 months, it could be a year. So
will you have dual citizenship then?
No, it's just called residency. And then to be a permanent resident, you have to have that residency for 3 years and you have to renew it, I believe, every year. You can go for your citizenship, but I believe most people just get permanent residency.
So one of the things that you were looking for your family and you found it in Costa Rica, the simpler life, the not fast paced. Tell us about that.
Oh, I would say the number one thing I love about here is there is no, as Sarah knows, my background's in health and fitness, there is no commercialized restaurants or fast food. So we're not, you drive down the street, you see your little local, they're called sodas here, little mom and pop sodas, rice, beans, plantains. In Tamarindo, it's all locally owned restaurants, from high-end restaurants to little mom and pop shops. There's no, McDonald's is like an hour away in Liberia by the airport. You don't see anything like that, which to me makes it a more simpler life. You don't have all this marketing.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to do here like there would be in America for kids. There's not the indoor bouncy houses. There's not you know, the locals, like this is our first Christmas here. And I was like, oh, I hope there's stuff going on. And they had a local band in the center of Tamarindo come and played music the whole time that all the kids were seeing Santa. So yeah, I mean, my kids love to go to the beach. So we go to the beach all the time. Reagan, I got her involved in gymnastics just once a week. There's things to do for kids. Just, you know, got to find a lot of soccer, you know, football as they call it. But yeah, we go to the beach a lot. We hang out with friends.
Now, do you feel like you have to learn Spanish to function there?
No, not in this area. Tamarindo, they call it more, you know, gringo, as the expats are called. All the restaurants are in dollars or colones. But I started to learn Spanish, and my kids, I think, know more than me. Reagan, all the private schools are dual. So her kindergarten was half English, half Spanish. With my young one, his 3 teachers at the daycare don't speak English, except for the head manager. She's half, you know, she speaks Spanish and English. And I go over books with him. He only knows how to say agua, you know, so it's cute, but they'll definitely be fluent before.
It's going to do amazing things for him later on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's easier to pick up, you know, when you see signs, and I took it in high school, so it kind of comes back. But I think next fall, when both my kids are in school, I want to dive in and take some more in-person classes.
Deanna, you keep saying expat. Explain what that is.
An expat is anybody, I mean, the other term for it would be immigrant. So anybody that moves into a different country, you know, from the US, from Sweden, from a lot of people from Canada here are expats that have lived here. Yeah. So this is a bigger expat community, Tamarindo, because of the Liberia airport. They, I believe, put in about 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. San Jose airport is about 4 hours from here, but it could take you 6. It could take you 3, depending on construction and traffic. You know, it's like the one main road. There's only one road going in, you know, one way, one road going the other way. So they're expanding it now to 3 lanes, but it could take a very long time.
Oh, wow. I do hear a lot of people wanting to move to Costa Rica, going to visit a lot. It's coming up more and more often. Is it cheaper to live there, or is it going up because so many people are moving there?
I knew I was going to get this question. Different areas of Costa Rica, I heard, are different, like, expenses to live, or the housing. But where we are, it's very similar to America. Because of what happened with COVID, they saw the same rush of people here. So I heard rent for a 1-bedroom was, this is Playa Avianis, this is about 20 minutes from my house. Rent was $400 for a 1-bedroom, but now it's $800 to $1,000, you know, and the families that I know that are renting, sometimes they get kicked out of their Airbnbs or their long-term rental, because then people want to short-term rent it. As we all know, in America too, you make more money short-term renting. So, yeah, I mean, in July of last year, we probably spent, I think it was $3,000 for the month of July just to rent the Airbnb, you know. So I would say it's similar. I mean, if you want to live like the locals and eat rice, beans, plantains, fresh fruit, vegetables, you'll live a lot cheaper, and that's kind of like what we like to do.
Yeah.
But if you Auto Mercado, as they call it, the gringo store here in central Tamarindo, they have a lot of US brands there, but they're going to be double the price because of the export, you know, fee to bring it in. So it's about the same, I would say.
Do you see, because you live right there and you kind of live in the wilderness, do you see the monkeys everywhere?
Oh, yeah. Not every day, but they've been at our house, I would think, at least once a month, or behind this big tree back here. But when I go into Tamarindo, there's a lot of monkeys, like when I walk and stuff at the beach, and they're around everywhere.
What other unusual animals that we would never see here in the US are out and about?
Very large iguanas. You know, as soon as I hear a rustling and I'm like, what is that in the tree? I mean, huge iguanas, a lot of wild horses. Like, I don't know if a lot, like, we're around farmland here, and there's 5 horses that'll come right next to our property. And I think people own that farmland but they don't keep them like we do in the States. I mean, they are just out and about. They have a big water thing for them, but there's a lot of horses, Yeah, it's really pretty. I really just seen when we went to Arenal, where the volcano is, about 2.5 hours. They have these little, there's a weird name for it, but a little chipmunk, almost like a dinosaur looking tail, raccoon, but they're really cute. I forget the name of them.
I love that raccoon dinosaur looking
Yeah,
thing.
it is. There's a little meme that goes around like the dinosaur they see walking, but it's their tail.
I was trying to picture a dinosaur and a raccoon together and then going, oh, cute.
Yeah. No, I know. I can't have to text you the name of it. A lot of toucans, a lot of bird watching. There is beautiful birds here. Big blue ones, yellow ones, a lot of butterflies. Then the main reason why we love it here is the weather. So it's 75, 80 in the morning, 85, 90 during the day, and then 75 at night year round. And we are in this area. Central Valley towards San Jose, it gets to be 60s, in the morning and at night. And even during the day. We've only been there a couple times, but a lot of friends that live there. And
well, you do have somebody who is very excited to experience that climate.
Yes.
So Debbie shares that she's very excited to visit you all.
Oh, awesome.
Have you gotten a lot of family visitor or friends coming to see you?
Oh yeah, tons. I think I broke up a little bit. I'm not sure if you guys can.
No, you're good.
Okay, good. Oh yes, we have tons of friends that have come down with their kids. We went to Arenal with another couple. My friend Sam and Al came down from Nashville. They're big travelers. We have a 2-bedroom casita and we have a 1-bedroom casita that we remodeled. So yeah, we've had a lot. There's a couple now staying in our 2-bedroom because we leave next week to go back to the States, and they're going to house sit for us while we're gone. So that's big here. A lot of people house sit for when people travel and go back and forth.
Oh, that's a good idea. So I want to talk about, because this was something that you shared with me. You and Scott were talking about, you kind of live off the land and what's available there, but you've also expressed to me, you're kind of leaning towards the plant-based idea, but not completely. And it's been a really good, healthy fit for your family. I think everybody's always trying to share about your new kind of way of eating.
Yeah. Well, we've always loved to cook. But here you can't just rush out and run, to a restaurant and grab and go. So we have plantain trees on the property, and my kids and all of us love plantains. When we get a pineapple, we save the top of it, and we started a pineapple garden. We got 1 pineapple so far, but we have 12 pineapples that are huge. I mean, it starts when your kids are young, but here it's just easier to provide, I think, more fruits and vegetables, and especially my youngest, he eats very well, lots of vegetables, lots of fruits. He loves there he is, that's when the plantains that we got from our tree. So in Costa Rica, since it's so warm, there's 3 growing seasons. So things grow very fast here compared to like the States. But my husband loves to garden, so he's starting a garden. I can't see it now, but he's got tomatoes lined up in the back. But that is our main goal, whether we either stay in this property, we have more land in the back, or we move on to the next place, is to grow tomatoes and cucumbers. We try to eat salad at least once a day, sometimes twice for lunch and dinner. Along with some little rice and beans, that's inexpensive here. And then Scott loves to fish. So he has, he's met there's a lot of fishing around here. So sometimes when he does go fishing in a big boat, we'll stock, the fresh mahi and tuna and things like that up. So, yeah, it's been great.
Have you noticed a big change by switching over from plant-based? More?
Oh, yes. So much energy, you're not like sluggish. I mean, I've always, as you know, Sarah, ate pretty healthy, but just not having the stuff around there's no Starbucks drive-through. So I miss that a little bit. No, okay, let me get my Starbucks. Oh, I'll try, I'll get a muffin today or a quick bagel. Like, things aren't quick here. I cook a lot. I mean, everybody eats oatmeal in the morning with, fruit. I do eat, I try to eat more of a high protein diet. So I do eat the dairy, a little bit of, Greek yogurt and dairy that I can find here. Eggs, there's chickens everywhere. Everybody has chickens. So all the eggs are farm fresh that when you go to the grocery store. So that's really nice. And the kids love all that.
I was gonna say you've really taken to the lifestyle, and it sounds like you've committed to if we're living here. We are actually living here. We're not visiting.
And we've always ate rice and beans even at home, but like it's just easier. Oh no, we're definitely committed to living here. Yeah, we definitely found our place. Whether we ever have a home in the States again, which Sarah knows we do, or this will be one of our home bases for sure.
Deanna, have you seen? It's on. You guys, you probably do Wi-Fi, Netflix.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, all that.
Did you see Game Changer?
Yes.
I thought that was so interesting. I've been telling my friends about that, it was interesting to see all those athletes.
Yes. We actually watched that. I've been watching them for, different ones, but Scott has not had, it'll be July when we moved. We made the switch here too, because it's easier. There's restaurants here that are just vegan, just vegetarian. And if they're not, they have a separate vegan vegetarian menu. It is easier to eat healthier here, I think, at any restaurant. And they're making everything from scratch. It's just easier, Sometimes when you go out to eat in the States, you want to eat more, vegetarian or vegan. You got to really pick. I always looked up in St. Augustine what restaurants I can get food from, but here you can go anywhere. And
yeah, I was just so fascinated by the athletes saying their recovery, their repair time in the muscles, the energy that they had, changing their
Scott just started eating fish, but he has not eaten any chicken or meat in a year. Especially I was surprised with chicken. He has not eaten any of it. And I haven't eaten pork or beef in a year. So, and I will not go back.
So take us through your kitchen, because I know that food is important, but you've also done a whole lot with your home, including your kitchen.
So this is our first remodel I did with kids. This is a typical kitchen here. They call it like a Tico kitchen, just pretty much a stove and a sink and open spaces. On the other side of this wall was just a standing refrigerator. So that was fun. This is right before it was torn down. So the bottom was filled with all my cooking stuff. So having a 18-month-old when we moved in. And so, we made it a little nicer. And on the other side, I don't have a picture, but it's all white cabinets too, and my little coffee bar and where the refrigerator is.
And so you're still living the lifestyle, but you made it your own.
Yes. We like to live in very nice homes. So we just kind of switched it up. I chose the gray on the bottom and the white on top, and our guy doing it, he's like, I've never heard of that before. I'm like, I'm going to bring a little US flair down here.
Deanna, is it hard to get workers there to do stuff, or
no? I would say one of the things here, these are the most hardworking people I have ever met. I'm up early in the morning, 5 a.m. because my son is, but they're here at 6 a.m. waiting at our gate, and they don't leave till the sun goes down at 6 p.m. I mean, from when they built our deck, the deck wasn't here.
Yeah, I was going to say, take us through what that yard then looked like.
That's our St. Augustine house. That's our St. Augustine house. Yeah. But the deck wasn't here at our pool. It was just rocks, but they were here nonstop till it got finished. The realtor that we met, he owns Loma Verde in Santa Rosa by Tamarindo, and he builds homes. Yeah, and there's our deck. Yeah. And his cabinet guy did our whole kitchen. The thing here is everything is custom made. So our cabinets were hand done and custom because they don't have the processing that we do for just like, throwing things together in the cabinet. So things take a little bit longer, but I think it's worth it. And the wood here is really nice. A lot of teak farms. So teak is from here. So teak's a lot cheaper than it is in the States. Guanacosta wood is the table that I'm on now. They have really pretty things to build with here. So
I just thought of something like Walmart, Target, Costco's, like those kind of places where you just go get stuff. do they have stuff like that?
Yeah, it's in Liberia, is an hour away. There's a Walmart and there's a Price Mart, which used to be Costco. So that was like,
so you got to make those lists and know what you're getting when you go there.
Yeah, it's funny in the States, I didn't ever want to go to Walmart. I'm like, I'm a local person. I'll go to Target, but here I like can't wait to go to Walmart. It's funny because if you're looking for, it was a challenge. It was my challenge to find decor and decorate the house and just basic like home goods, like, to walk in to pick out baskets. They have a couple really nice home stores in Tamarindo, but they're $150 for a basket, because they got it from Bali or they get it. The import fees are really high here. So, back in the States, it might take you a month to furnish a place and decorate it, or 2 weeks if you're a designer, Amazon it. Here, it took me about 6 to 8 months to complete the house with basic stuff.
Can you get Amazon there?
Yes, we did for a lot of things. After pricing stuff out of how expensive it is, we are big into very comfortable, like our beds. We want them to be very comfortable. We like the ones that, that you get and they expand, memory foam. So we imported all those in, and then we imported our headboards in, because we went to the furniture stores here and they were like $2,000 for a bed that wasn't that comfortable.
Wow.
Yeah. So you get Amazon from not to your house, but to called Liberty Express in Tamarindo, and you have an account there. You do Amazon. It takes about 10 days to 2 weeks. You pay 13% tax and you pay a fee for how much it weighs, because they have to ship it, here. So, our $300 mattress might have cost us $800, but it was a lot cheaper than. So I had to do all that research of figuring out where to get stuff. But yeah, you can get Amazon.
Yeah, we unfortunately lost Sarah. I think she's gonna hopefully come on back in.
Also, I was gonna say, like, getting a couch. The furniture stores here in Tamarindo, like a nice couch was about $5,000. I'm not getting a couch that expensive with young kids, but So, and then you go to the more local places, and they're very small because people's local homes here are very tiny, very, very tiny. So the Decor Place Seaside Homes, which I love, they make all their furniture in San Jose. So I got a beautiful couch. They called it an American style. It was like wider, and for $1,200, and it took 6 weeks to make and get in.
I mean, it seems just from the different pictures and what you've shared that you've got a lot of indoor, outdoor living, and that you've invested into like those dual spaces.
Yeah, actually, we do not have a dining table in this house. That is our kitchen that you saw. Is just there's not enough room
for bar stools.
So our table is outside. But my son's still in a high chair, and then the three of us use the bar stools if we don't feel like going outside. But most people here, their tables are outside because the weather is so nice. It's not as humid as Florida. Like, people are like, isn't it too hot? I'm like, oh, I thought Florida was hotter. I really did. It's really nice here. So.
Sorry, guys, my Wi-Fi kicked me right off. I was like,
I'm surprised mine hasn't. Wi-Fi here is a little.
Does it rain a lot there?
It is 6 months of absolutely no rain, which I just got out of for the first time. I'm dry as can be. And then now we're in the rainy season, which is, they say it's usually May, but it started a little early this year, April to about end of October, November. And then December, Christmas, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this is kind of weird, like no rain. So we are very busy here in Tamarindo, where a lot of people come to visit during the dry season. It was kind of like St. Augustine. It was very busy. But now during the rainy season, it's not as busy. But yeah, I mean, it kind of rains like Florida, just like an hour in the afternoon. We just had about 2 or 3 days of a little bit more rain, but
it looks gorgeous there right now.
Yeah. This is all from the rain. It was pretty dry. It was the dry season.
Have you become the new info person for people considering Costa Rica now?
Yeah, I get a lot of messages. I have 4. I know you're coming down. I think I have three other friends coming down to visit. I think just vacation, but yeah, a lot of people ask me questions, especially about the kids and the transitioning of them.
So I know that you're not completely just relaxing in Costa Rica. You and Scott have done a lot of remodeling.
Yes.
You bought another house in Virginia. You're going to use as an Airbnb. Is that correct?
We don't know yet. We're not a big fans of renting our home out. You know, I really would like to eventually find a home that's a home.
Yeah.
You know, so we have a contractor there now. We're there next Wednesday, so cross your fingers it'll be done. And our house here in Costa Rica is for sale. I think I told you that.
Yeah.
So if it sells during the summer, we are going to stay in Virginia and try out the fall there. And bring my daughter back to school here in January for the second semester. I'm a little nervous now because it's going to get pretty cold where we are in Virginia.
You'll feel the seasons.
In Bluefield, Virginia, which is the tallest town in Virginia in the Appalachian Mountains. My dream has always been to have a house in the mountains and a house at the beach. So
this could be the opportunity.
Yep. So we're going to see how much I like it there and the community and check out different schools. The public school is only a 4-minute walk from our house. It's only K through 2nd grade. So a lot of people do that. I think it would be a good experience for Reagan to be in a big school and then come down here. And they just had a kid at Tide do 10 years in Colorado and 10 years in Costa Rica. They did half the year. I mean, such a different life and experience. So
I think you guys are going to sell your location in Costa, but you're looking for another house in Costa Rica on the beach, right?
Where we want to build.
Will that be, are you going to build close to the community you're at right now?
Yeah. There's a lot of beaches around here, which is always fun, but we love Playa Hacial and Playa Negra are very popular here, which is about 20 minutes away from Tamarindo. We're about 10 minutes away from Tamarindo now. And there's a beautiful Waldorf school in that community, or I can still drive down into Tamarindo for school. Scott and I both, if we're here, we want to live that Costa Rica lifestyle where people are like, why don't you live in Tamarindo? I said, this is just like Florida. This is just like St. Augustine. You don't really feel like you're experiencing Costa Rica. So that's why we picked this house. But we were in Crescent Beach, and we kind of miss being closer to the beach. So we will build this. We lived in bigger homes, but we really like living in a small home. I have a very basic, small 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. And Scott's like, I've never been around the kids so much, we're in different floors in Florida, or, he was working full time, and it's really nice to be this intimate with your children at this young of an age. So in Virginia, we're going to a house with 1 bathroom, 2 bedrooms upstairs, our bedroom on the main floor, very small kitchen, but, it was a big fixer-upper. I mean, there was a hole in the floor. People didn't take care of it. So they're shiplapping everything, refinishing the floors. Scott did, when he went there to close, he did the bedrooms upstairs and repainted it, stripped everything, new carpet. So it's almost like, people moved to that tiny house thing. We're not doing a tiny house, but, downgrading and being
condensed.
So do you guys, how many houses, you were saying that 5 houses? Is that what she said?
Yeah, when I met Scott, he moved to Neptune Beach, and the condo was a 1970s condo, and he remodeled it living in there. So I was like, I guess I should have been warned when I first met him. This was my journey. And then we built a house in St. Augustine by the gym, Sarah, and he always liked to remodel the outside, so he's really good at landscape and pavers. So we did that to our first home. We moved to Georgia, Darien, Georgia, another cute little town. We remodeled that home and needed a lot of work. Then we moved back to St. Augustine, and that property was just the house. So we remodeled the whole ½ acre outside. If you show a picture.
I think I've got some photos. Is that the one in St. Augustine?
So that was our house in Crescent Beach. It was just on a ½ acre of grass. So he put the fence up. The backyard had nothing. We got in right before COVID to put the pool in, which was a blessing. And that's when he did the paver business. So we put a putting green in the back, and then he did the fire pit. That was old brick from actually St. Augustine streets that he got from a past job in that fire pit area. It was really pretty.
Cool.
Yeah, so that was in the corner.
It's got a
And
story.
yeah. It was a beautiful home. I miss it a little bit, but it was very busy down there. Crescent Beach got very busy after COVID. So
Deanna, have you and Scott ever, because he likes doing landscaping and everything, have you guys thought about doing your own business in Costa Rica? Because you get a lot of the transplants coming in.
yeah, actually, that's another thing to consider. People are thinking about moving down here. You actually cannot work for somebody else, or even have your own business until you are a resident. And I believe that Scott does all the laws. I believe it's 3 years of residency before you can. I believe you can open up a business, but you actually can't work it. Like you have to hire locals. They want the local community to have the jobs, first of all. So he actually has another sales job that he got recruited for. So he's doing a little part-time sales, and then he's doing the home stuff. But
let's bring his picture on up.
There they are, the happy couple.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he can in about 2 years or whatever, when we get the residency. A lot of people do stuff on the side. Like I hope to in the fall, both my kids in school, to teach yoga at the beach, and people are just like online, hey, teaching yoga at the beach Saturday, donation only. But I technically can't work for a company here. You just have to.
So that's another thing. I know you're continuing. You went to Costa Rica a while ago, and I hear a lot of people go to Costa Rica for yoga training. Why is it so popular there?
It really all started in Nosara. Nosara is a really big yoga community. I don't know the exact history, but there's a resort there that started yoga teacher training. I did mine in Samosati in Puerto Viejo, which is the Caribbean side. Little tag to Marianne Wells. She's my yoga mentor and trainer. She's been doing this for, 30 years now, but she kind of started it over on the West Coast, and now she does stuff in Nosara. But I got certified through her for 200 hours, and now I'm doing my advanced teacher training with her. I think it's just the weather, probably. It's just obviously beautiful
surroundings.
The surroundings are always, in yoga shalas. You're waking up to the sound of the monkeys. It's really a great place to meditate. I mean, there's nothing, the sound of our place in Nosara for the advanced teacher training. There's so many beautiful ocean views here. So the house we stayed at was the most epic ocean view. We're meditating over the ocean and the mountains. You have the mountains and the ocean, so you can't go wrong.
For anybody considering an international move or trying to make that change for their family, what's one thing that you would recommend for them so that they thrive in that change?
Definitely, depending on, you have children, of what kind of school that you want to go to and where you want to live in proximity to that school. And then definitely to rent. I told my husband to rent, but he doesn't like to rent and wants to remodel and do things. It's just there's a lot to learn here of different things with houses. So renting, we didn't know that we would like Hakial and Negra better than where we are now, So I would say just rent. A lot of people hop around, they rent here for 2 or 3 months and they have to leave for their 90-day visa. Then they rent in another area. Just rent and learn about the places. And a lot of people, most people work from home, work on the computer now. So they have a lot of workspaces here if your internet's not good, but most places the internet is fine. Yeah, I would say the main thing, just rent and hop around and move around and find a school that works for you. And if you have kids that go to school.
To be that, did you guys have advice? I have another friend who lives like closer to where I was telling you I'm going to go visit. So, like, there's so many different areas, and there's different, people say there's so many different airports too you can go into. How did you guys get direction? Did you ask ahead of time?
Directions?
Like direction of what, because there's so many different places of Costa Rica to look at.
I think the Caribbean side is definitely not as developed, and I don't think there's as many schools. So we knew Scott's like, I know you're gonna like Tamarindo. It's like St. Augustine. I love Tamarindo. I love coffee, meeting moms to go coffee. I love nice restaurants. They have amazing boutiques. Sorry, I still like that stuff, But
You're allowed.
Scott likes peace and quiet, and living more of the coast. He'd live on a hill on 20 acres if I allowed him to.
The hut.
Not there yet. So yeah, I think it's just what kind of lifestyle you want. I know a lot of retired people come down here, people without kids, and they want to be more in the mountains where it is cooler. It's called the Central Valley. I think it's consistently like 60 and 70 degrees. I mean, how beautiful is that?
Are you able to, I've watched so many things on TV. Are you able to, do you ever officially you own the house, but do you ever own the land? How does that work?
No, we own everything. We own everything. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know in some they allow you to buy the house, but not the land.
I think it's ones that are by the beach. I think there's some weird title issues with you cannot have a home that's owned by the government, but some people still have that home on that property. That could be taken away at any moment, which is, but no, you own your home and your land here.
So I want to just give a tidbit out there to people watching. I know a lot of people have been talking about different ways of eating. What would be if somebody, because you didn't completely go plant-based, you told me that you kept the eggs and milk in, right?
I went plant-based for a long time.
Yeah.
And I eliminated everything. We did vegan, for a long time. I just, as you know, my background's in fitness, and I was even talking to more fitness nutrition people, and they're like, you're eating way too much carbs and fat. I just can't eat rice and beans, all day, every day. So I added more protein. Scott has not, he's only added fish, but we try to get it locally. When he goes fishing, he stocks up, or we know places that get it from the boat,
So recommend to somebody out there that they can actually thrive in changing their eating plan? Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I just can't eat vegetables and, beans and rice all the time. But then I watched that Game Changer, and they were making like really cool meals.
Oh yeah. I mean, we do. I mean, tofu, I switch it up. Like I wrote a list of all like the top, you can Google it, the top vegan high protein foods, edamame, tofu, and then, what their carbs and their protein in. And you have to plan it. You can't just wing this stuff. And you gotta, I do a lot of cooking. I cook a lot, and food prep, to cook, but I switch it up. We don't just do black beans. Lentils are super high in protein. We do red and brown lentils, black beans, tofu. And then once in a while, I'll go to the grocery store and get meatless meatballs, for the kids. I don't want to do a lot of the fake processed, fake meat, as I call it. But once in a while, I do for the kids. I get that. And I have incorporated a little bit of chicken sometimes, but then it kind of grosses me out, and then I go back. So I think you just Pinterest it. I do a lot of Pinterest. For the kids, I'll do a lot of casseroles, like rice, beans, shredded cheese. They love broccoli, love green beans. But I always told my clients when I was personal training is start out slow, eat your broccoli with salt and a little bit of sprinkled melted cheese. If that's how you're going to eat broccoli, then eat it that way. Just don't.
That's how I grew up.
Don't be eating cheese on your eggs and then cheese on your broccoli and then you're having a cheeseburger. No, you can't do that. But just slowly. And my kids eat steamed broccoli plain. Because I started them that way. Yeah. But if you don't know how to eat,
and that's a good point. Is a lot of kids that just didn't get introduced to a lot of processed food and other ways of eating, they don't know any different. So they
have to back it down, like put it in casseroles, put your spinach in the muffins. I never had to do
hide
that.
It.
Yeah, hide it. Yeah.
I used to hide broccoli in muffins for my daughter.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to hide the food. My son, he thinks hearts of palm are cheese. So I give him squares of hearts of palm, loves olives and chickpeas. I mean, he literally had a whole bowl of chickpeas, olives, and hearts of palm. I was like, who is this? He's over 2 now. So if we give him like mac and cheese or I give him like noodles, he won't want to eat his vegetables. So it's always another tip, vegetables first, on the plate, and then give the fun. I got a bug around me. The fun food if you're making that.
I was really hoping a monkey would drop down behind you.
Oh yeah. And yoga, I did that in Tamarindo, was outdoor yoga by the beach, and there was like 4 monkeys above us. So why are these monkeys drop something? I don't think they do that though.
Deanna, we're going to wrap it up so it doesn't get too long here. But do you care if we tag you in this in case anybody wants to reach out to you about Costa Rica questions?
Oh, I'd love to. Yep.
I was going to say, you're like a wealth of knowledge between yoga, healthy eating, doing home renovations, having little kids, moving to another country.
I met here because I wrote down like a list of what to do when it's raining here, and a lot of coffee shops have little kid areas, and they're like, you should write blogs, or I'm like, I don't have time for that. Maybe next year I'll have time, I think, to more delve into teaching yoga is my goal. So I'll get back.
So that's a good experience. Maybe you could do it live so we can see it.
I want to start, I think, a YouTube page if I don't have time to get somewhere.
Yeah.
That would be. I might have to contact you, Tara. I'm not that techie.
Deanna, when you get that way, we'll have to do a Thriving Females, and we'll put a YouTube of you on here. So
I love that.
That would be awesome. But
so
fun today. I know a couple of people that couldn't watch it. They wanted to tune in because they just wanted to hear your thoughts on Costa Rica. I know they are looking. I have a couple of people looking for a place there and visiting. And they said, ask if we can have her name and we could message her.
That'd be great. And in Virginia, if I love it there and we decide to stay for the fall, and we don't sell our house this summer, we'll be renting out each 3 of our homes. So that's the next plan to try.
That's awesome. I love it. And I just appreciate you so much sharing your experience of Costa Rica, your new healthy living.
So many ins and outs. Yeah.
I know you're a wealth of information.
Well, thank you.
But so much fun. I want you to say
nice
hi.
Meeting you, Tara.
Yes, nice to meet you too. And tune in on Monday, today's June 10th. It's Monday, June 13th. We are at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and we're connecting with some high schoolers, right?
We have 2 twin sisters that just finished up their freshman year in high school, and we're going to chat about being twins and finishing up their school. So yeah, that should be really fun.
So, all right. Well, thank you all so much. Enjoy your weekends.
Bye.